What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. It is March 16th. Jumping on really quick today. A few thoughts rolling through my head here as I'm getting back from the gym. Finished up a workout and just wanted to jump on. I don't have any podcasts scheduled this week, so kind of going to lone host a few of just my thoughts going into it, and really been thinking hard since the beginning of last week on some of this and how I wanted to touch on it. Obviously, everyone listening to this knows exactly what is going on. Everybody has their own opinion about it, and that's wonderful. But from my perspective, just wanted to give a couple 2 cents. I guess me personally, I have not had any panic or any too much worry in my life from this, and there's many reasons why that is, and one of them is just, this is a great time when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling that extra stress, when you're feeling that worry, when you're feeling that fear, to really test. This is a really good time to test yourself, to test your mental strength. We talk a lot about in the Run to Gun world, and that live beyond average mantra. How fitness plays such a big role in our lives in so many other areas, like mental toughness is one of them. We talk a lot about being a better father, a better sister, better brother, husband, wife, better person in our career. But one of those big things that living beyond average is that the fitness side of things is being mentally tough. Now, where you may be thinking, what does this have to do with mental toughness? Well, for me, there's always that, I'm human too, right? So there's been, though I haven't had much panic at all, any fear, I haven't made any bad decisions because of the last week and a half or week, whatever you want to call it. But there's still times that test my mentality. There's times where I can feel a little anxiousness coming on, and usually that only happens when I happen to see a post that's ridiculous, or I flip on the news. So what this really does, it does several things, right? One of the steps I've taken, and you shouldn't just be taking the steps now. Now's a great time to start, but this is something I've done a lot over the years, is if you're on your social media and you're seeing posts that are ridiculous or that make you feel anxious, make you feel fear, make you feel a way that you don't want to feel, don't follow those people. Delete them, unfollow them. It's a great move. I've already deleted several of the accounts that I kind of enjoyed following. I like some of their content. This week on my Instagram, I've actually deleted a few people on Facebook just because of the style of posts that are coming out from their feeds right now. That always speaks to me a little bit about where they're at in certain situations. I am a positive person in the sense of I want to breed out positivity to people. I'm not perfect by any means, but especially in times where people are feeling stressed out or feeling a little anxious. So if you're hitting any of those posts that make you feel that way, unfollow the person, right? Same goes for news accounts. Start following news sources or people that put out news that you trust, right? That are factual, that their sources that they're receiving them are factual. This takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to find somebody overnight, but over the course of years of people I followed, I will go and look through. When I find somebody I think is going to be factual, or I think is going to be following a direction that I believe is correct, I'll actually look at their followers and see where a lot of their sources are, who they're following too, and that's like vetting the system, right? That's what we should be doing. So that's something I do as well. If you're feeling really anxious and having some fear problems like that, turn off the news. Get off Facebook. Get off social media. Chill out, right? Don't be feeding. It's a direct line, right? When you're on those things, it's a direct line to your mind, okay? And if you're struggling with that, we need to get your mind back to positivity, okay? Back to things that are going to get you into the normal state where you need to be, okay? And I've had to do this already last week, training several of my clients. And when I'm talking about, at the very beginning of this, I mentioned this is a great opportunity to test your mentality. It's a great opportunity for you to be a leader. This is a great time for you to really show your true colors, in the sense of if you're the leader of a household, of a community, Like for me, I was in my gym training some clients, and I had a couple clients that were, you could really tell by my Thursday sessions last week, were really starting to feel the stress. You could really tell they were anxious. This was really bothering them. It was definitely a time of opportunity for me just to calm them down, right? It was a time to speak some life into them, speak some positivity, some motivation into them, and be a leader in that sense. And so if you're the leader of your household with your wife, your husband, your kids, your extended family, this is a time to really be thinking about, how do I be a leader? How do I breed positivity, motivation, keep people on the right path, and be teaching the right things. It's a great time for that. Really be thinking about the things that are coming to your mouth, how you're responding, and what you're doing. This is a great time for that. What you're representing. So within all that, when you're feeling a little anxious and you're feeling a little fearful, like, make great decisions. You know what I mean? Don't be making rash, fast decisions through all this. We're seeing a ton of that, right? We're seeing that in the grocery stores. We're seeing that. So this is a time to do the exact opposite. Those decisions have been made very quickly, very rash, out of fear and anxiety. So as a leader, right, you're making great decisions. That doesn't mean you're sitting back and doing nothing. It means you're making the right decisions, right? It's calm decisions, not out of anxiety, not out of fear. Stop and ask yourself that. And lastly, I was going through this week at church, ran into, I keep like all of my notes from church, and I was kind of flipping through organizing some of my Bible on Sunday, and ran into one that a message that my pastor touched on like weeks ago, but it was like in the back of my mind, and I found it. And this is like so key. It's Matthew 6:25 through 34. Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds in the air. They neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more value than they are? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? And why are you anxious about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all of his glory was not arrayed like one of these. It's just a great example about how we need to stop, relax, and go to God and go to prayer, to really think about the things that we're stressing about, that we think we need, and we need so much of right now, and the anxiousness we feel. That right there, it says that our Heavenly Father provides for all of us. And so it's hard to see, definitely in times like this, but like, what a great time to like sit back and actually pray about those things that you're anxious about, that you're fearful about, and bring them to God, to help bring the calm back into your life. Because not everything as humans we're able to do ourselves. And that at times like this is that time where we should be turning. And it says right in the Bible that we should turn and bring those feelings to prayer, and to have that one-on-one conversation with God. So take advantage of these moments, make great decisions, and just live beyond average. Have a great rest of your week, you guys.